our students that they are now enjoying general education subjects at the senior high school level. So naibaba na natin. This is actually a clear illustration na naibaba na natin. And the promises are now being fulfilled. No? Pero parang awa nyo na yung PE, tanggalin nyo na yung PE. It's really parang mind-boggling that it's there. No? So, yeah. Si Yusek Gina and then si Dr. Key.
Very quickly lang po, hindi lang na-update ni Doc Fermin yung mga titles natin ngayon. Kailangan lang po i-update ng CHED yung mga titles natin dito sa history at saka doon sa life skills po. Pero yun po, ganun na po talaga ang alignment ngayon. Just updating of the names. Thank you po.
Yeah, Dr. Lee? Carol?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to add to the discussion about PE, last week we had a very fruitful discussion on legislated subjects and activities in basic and higher education. Panimula pa lang po yun, Mr. Chair, kasi hindi pa exhaustive yung pag-aaral na nagawa natin. But we'll flash the number of subjects that are required for basic and higher ed to integrate. So what we found so far po is 21 subjects, 21 laws have been passed to integrate specific subjects or topics into the curriculum. The blue is required for basic and higher education, the red is for basic education only, and the yellow is for higher education only. What we also noted in that conversation, sir, is that hindi lang po mga batas na diretsong nagsasabing basic and higher ed yung talagang kailangan. Marami pong batas sa PRC, sa mga professional boards, and there are 46 of them that somehow even indicate what exact subjects with no room for flexibility. May 6 po out of 46 na kung ano yung nakasulat sa batas, yun lang talaga. Magbago man ang panahon, magbago man ang mundo, yun pa rin yung kailangang ituro. There needs to be room for flexibility. Some of these laws were also rigid and ironically po, baka hindi kasi siya dumaan sa committees on higher education kasi diretso siya sa committee na nag-handle ng PRC governing boards or professional boards. Yung iba po dito, nakasulat pati length ng program. So kung nakalagay po doon na yung program na yun ay dapat 4 years, kahit gustuhin nating iksian siya, hindi ka makagalaw. May mga programs po na nakalagay dapat 2 years. So kahit kaya mong tapusin in 1 year, bawal po dahil dun sa batas. So I think the consensus was that CHED and PRC will work closely together to review all of these 46 laws and then to propose which ones might need to be updated to conform to the realities of today and what are actually needed. Kasi po, even if it has good intentions naman, there needs to be language lang on flexibility that allows PRC and CHED to evolve and to update these programs and topics to be able to enable our professionals to actually be responsive. So just to note that for higher education, what is actually required talaga po is marami naman talaga. Rizal Law, NSTP, topics po yung labor education. According to our representatives from CHED last week, kung topics, kayang gawa ng paraan kasi ipapasok lang sa mga existing subjects. Pero kung stand-alone subjects talaga, doon medyo mahirap. So, Mr. Chair, ayan po, Rizal Law, Constitution, Rule of Law, IP and Philippine Muslim History, Safe Spaces Act, Philippine Cultural Heritage. So, medyo marami po talaga. And meron pong 138 bills filed in the 19th Congress to legislate additional subjects. So, kung ito po lahat pumasa, kahit po mag-decongest tayo, dadagdag ulit. So baka po kailangan nating mag-isip ng paraan para talagang ma-manage ito so that there is a framework and actual coherence as it relates to our desired competencies for our graduates during the time that we are actually doing it. Kasi some of these laws are 1950s, 1960s, sir, na hanggang ngayon bit-bit natin sa 2025. Next slide, just to reinforce the point of the chair earlier, under the Physical Education and Sports Development Act of 1969, what is actually required is a program of general physical fitness for pupils in elementary and secondary schools. So actually, CHED may consider to amend its current requirement that PE be taught in college. So it is up to there is no restriction under the law. What is stated under Section 11 is there shall be charged an athletic fee of not an amount not exceeding 10 pesos per annum from each college and university student. But this naman could go towards competitive athletics, other sports initiatives, but it doesn't explicitly require that there has to be this number of units for all students in college. So just to share this point, Mr. Chair, and the work is ongoing, and we hope that we will be able to present to our EDCOM commissioners once we are done with our comprehensive review together with our DepEd, CHED, TESDA, and PRC partners. So yun lamang po, Mr. Chair. We have other comments later for senior high school, and we have a prepared presentation later. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's really about time to review all the laws, and I commend EDCOM for taking the cudgels in reviewing the laws, and especially those laws that mandate subjects in basic education and higher education, and in both. No, there are laws that the country feels it's important, and it should be taught no matter what, just like GMRC and values education. But because times have changed and curriculum delivery is also evolving, some of the subjects can be adjusted. No? For example, nga, yung Constitution or Rizal Law or itong physical education and sport development, maybe it can be adjusted, no? So that it will be attuned to the times. No? So we'll request EDCOM to brief us on this on a later date. No? With that, we'll now pursue. We'll call on EDCOM, no, to give their comments on the new senior high school curriculum.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Could we request the Secretariat to please put in the slides? Mr. Chair, what we tried to do was to analyze all of the comments, studies, findings that we have found on senior high school as it relates to the challenges, and then how it is juxtaposed against the post-reforms of DepEd, and then just ending with several questions for clarification as to how we will actually implement it. Next slide. Next slide, please. Mr. Chair, this summarizes the three clusters of challenges, as you also alluded to earlier. Curriculum and student support issues, that it is congested, there are too many required subjects. At a certain point, there's 21st century world literature required, even of TVET students pursuing tech-voc track. So kailangan po talaga siyang pag-isipan. And then operational issues, which I think has come out most prominently in our conversations. The lack of textbooks, the lack of supplies, the lack of laboratory material equipment, the lack of TVET equipment in some, or actually a good number of SHS TVL programs. Also, the unavailability of tracks and strands in specific localities. The difficulty in establishing industry partnerships. Ito po, maigting yung comment ng mga nasa maliliit na mga lugar, ng mga munisipyo at mga maliliit na schools, to the point of our chair that rural schools really have difficulty kasi pag may requirement na work immersion pero wala naman pwedeng puntahan sa kanilang komunidad, paano po mafulfill yung requirement na yon? So baka nga po kailangan pag-aralan sa pilot, paano to pwedeng i-implement, or baka dapat iba yung requirement for those with limited access to such opportunities. And then system readiness and implementation gaps. Also the issues at the exits, which was already thoroughly discussed earlier, including certification and assessment, actual employability, and then the bridging programs. Next slide. Mr. Chair, we also commend reforms or improvements that were meant to really address these issues, including the passage of laws such as the Basic Education Mental Health, and as well as the Second Career Guidance and Counseling Act of 2019. But we also see that despite that, next slide. So, next slide please. Ayan, nakita po natin may mga pagbubuti po talaga sa demand ng industry na mas mahaba ang work immersion, and this is already reflected in the revised sample class program under the new senior high school curriculum. Dati kakapiranggot yung oras for work immersion, ngayon isang buong semester plus may na-embed na NC2 in tourism services. Next slide. We note, however, that there is volatility in the transition of students from junior high to senior high. Ito po yung dark yellow line, whereas you see that in some years it is at 90%, may mga taon umaakyat siya ng 100% pero bumababa ulit. So siguro po pag-uunawa kung bakit paiba-iba yung bilang ng mga estudyante or yung proportion ng mga estudyante na nagtatapos ng grade 10 na sumasampa ng grade 11? At ano yung dahilan sa likod nito? Is it supply? Is it electives? Is it options for them? Is it difficulty in financing? Is it voucher program challenges? Is it quality? So kailangan itong unawain kasi hindi stable at talagang paiba-iba since its initial implementation.